What is up, guys? So this is going to be my review for The Flash, Season 4, Episode 5, titled Girls' Night Out. So back when the title of this episode was announced and we heard that Felicity was going to guest star, I thought this might be one of the worst episodes of The Flash ever. I called it a while, like when the information came out, and I might have been right. This episode definitely was not good, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was just nowhere near as good as the first 4 episodes of this season. The episode followed 2 basic storylines. The first one is the bachelor party storyline, the male side, which is supposed to be nothing but entertainment, and I guess it accomplished its goal because it was entertaining and funny, especially the drunk Flash, but it wasn't more entertaining than the usual episode of The Flash. Like, last episode didn't even try as hard to be funny, and it was definitely funnier than this episode. So, really, the drunk Flash is all that the story has going for it. The stupid subplot of Cecile's daughter being a stripper and writing an essay about the feminism, about the woman's experience, I think she said. That was just stupid. And then the female side of the story with the all-female team up, that team up would have been okay, would have been fine. I don't have a problem with that. I have to stress that because people would say I'm a sexist when I'm not. The team up was so irritating, not because they're female, but it's because they have to remind you every 3 seconds that they are girls and that they are feminists. Like, they literally kept on saying things like girl power or feminism. It's so irritating. I don't understand why every single time a group of girls takes the lead in an episode or a movie, they have to make it about feminism and remind you every second. We get it. It's an all-female team-up. So what? It's like you guys, the writers of this show, are the sexists because you think it makes a difference that they're female. You have to say that they're female. We get it. We know they're female. It's pretty obvious by the way they look. You don't have to tell us every single goddamn second. And that just makes this episode so much worse. This episode could have been a lot of fun. It could have been a lot of fun moments with a pretty good villain. But instead, this episode is just dragged down by bullshit. It's like Supergirl Season 1 and Season 2. Season 3 doesn't do this. Season 1 and 2 did, and it made Supergirl so much worse. In this episode, it made it so much worse. And now, I feel like if I don't say this again at the end of the rant, then I will be called a sexist. I would have no problem with a full female team up with Iris, Felicity, maybe not Felicity, but Iris, Caitlin, Vixen, maybe Cecile, she was there, but I would have no problem with that. They could make a Birds of Prey TV show, not to watch it. I watched Supergirl. I would have no problem with that. But the fact that they keep on reminding you that it's an all-female team-up is so irritating. And then Felicity being there really didn't help matters either. But you know what? It didn't hurt the story. For some reason, Felicity is always a much better and more likable character when on The Flash. It might be because the Flash writers actually know how to write Felicity as a funny, awkward, and smart character. I'm pretty sure one of the writers on The Flash used to be a writer on Arrow in Season 1 and 2, so that writer definitely knows how to write Felicity, while Mark Guggenheim and whoever's writing Arrow right now 100% does not. So when she's on The Flash, she's so much better. As opposed, she's on The Flash, she's funny, she's awkward and smart. And then on Arrow, ever since Season 3, ever since that writer on The Flash left Arrow, she just became, instead of funny, she became annoying, awkward, and smart. So while her character wasn't as bad as it is on Arrow, I just feel like this guest starring was pointless and tacked on. The reason is, for one, she didn't really do anything that Felicity usually does. She didn't do anything that any other character could have done. Like, really, any other character. You just think of a female character on The Flash. They could have done everything that Felicity did. And second of all, Iris and Felicity were never that close. It really wasn't believable that Felicity would come all the way to Central City for Iris' bachelorette party. And if she did, there's no way in hell that she would go to that and Oliver wouldn't go to Barry's bachelor party. That's insane. Barry and Oliver were so much closer than Iris and Felicity ever were. Like, they literally, I'm pretty sure Felicity and Iris have exchanged like 5 or 6 words in the last 4 years, while Oliver and Barry have probably exchanged hundreds of words. in conversations, and they're definitely friends. It just doesn't make sense that it would make sense for Oliver not to show up because he lives in a different city. But if Felicity shows up, then Oliver should have too, and they never even explain it. Some people said that they might explain it, like they might like drop a reference, like, oh yeah, he's off helping Slade or something, but they never say that. As far as I remember, they never say that. But enough about Felicity. Amelia Black was an okay villain. I thought she was a little over the top and cheesy. Not crazy cheesy or anything, but definitely cheesier than a normal villain would be. And that's saying a lot on a formula that the Flash is doing right now with a villain of the week each week. She was really cheesy, and she wasn't threatening at all because her powers were really lame. She could only control one type of metal. That's like Magneto, but just worse in every type of way. So she has to carry around that metal wherever she goes, and she never used her powers in a crazy way. She just threw the metal and then used it as a shield, and then she was easily beaten by a magnet. So yeah, she wasn't really threatening at all. Obviously, she's a mob boss or whatever, but Caitlyn is obviously more powerful than her. Caitlyn could take her out so easily, so I don't know why Caitlyn was so afraid of her. It made no sense at all. Maybe she's really powerful, but if she is, they did a terrible job at showcasing that in this episode because, like I said, she was beaten by a magnet. I mean, a magnet, and by Cecile. Come on. But the obvious big takeaway from this episode, the thing that impacts the show the most, nay, the thing that impacts the universe the most, is obviously when Felicity mentioned the Hulk. This confirms the existence of Marvel Comics in the Arrowverse, and that is awesome. I've always suspected that the DC Universe had Marvel Comics as their comics, and the Marvel Universe had DC Comics as their comics, and this confirms the former, at least in the Earth 1 Arrowverse. But in conclusion, this episode wasn't disappointing. I expected it to be bad, and it was bad. The best way I can describe this episode is that the episode was mildly entertaining, but just mostly irritating. I give this episode a 6 out of 10. So what do you think about the episode? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. And vote in the top right corner of the video. I gotta end the video in the thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.